All right, let's jump right into this explainer. I am absolutely thrilled you're here today because we are going to embark on a journey that will completely transform how you see the quiet, physical space of your own backyard. Seriously, if you're a focused learner who loves unpacking the hidden mechanics of the natural world right outside your window, you are in for a massive treat. Today, we're looking at the fascinating, almost unbelievable science of backyard birds. We're going to completely strip away those old assumptions we have about these tiny creatures and look at the hard data. Data showing that they possess real memory, real recognition, and real intention. Let's get into it.
Okay, let's dive into this. I want you to imagine, just for a moment, standing completely motionless at your back door. You look out into the yard and you lock eyes with a bird resting on a branch. But it doesn't just look like it's randomly scanning for predators, right? It genuinely seems to know exactly who you are. So, are the birds actually watching you? Not just as some vague, blurry human outline near their food source, but as a specific, recognized individual? Well, the science says yes, absolutely.
Section 1. The Backyard Watchers. Think about stepping out of your house right before feeding time. It always feels a little bit like magic to see the birds already physically positioned, just waiting for you. But it's not magic, it's deliberate. 12 minutes. That is how early research from places like Cambridge and Cornell shows that crows will actually anticipate a specific caretaker's physical arrival. 12 whole minutes in advance. They adjust their positions in the yard, physically turning their bodies toward exactly where your body will appear. It's wild. This proves they haven't just noticed you, they've placed you and your exact schedule perfectly inside their mental model of the world. And this brilliantly illustrates the difference in how they perceive you versus a total stranger. Think about it. If a delivery person walks into your yard, look at the immediate physical tension. The birds pull back, their little bodies tense up, they go completely quiet, and they just flee the feeder. But when you step into that exact same space, they stay entirely calm. They hold their ground, their bodies stay relaxed, and they keep right on eating. It's a completely different emotional response, and it's based entirely on your familiar, safe presence. Section 2. Recognizing your specific face. So how exactly do they know it's you? Well, there was this landmark study published in PNAS that proved crows literally permanently memorize specific human faces. They even used masks in the study to prove it. As you walk from your house through the garden, a bird takes these incredibly brief, silent steps to scan your physical body. First, it observes your face to confirm your identity. Second, it tracks your movements. A cardinal might actually physically pivot its body on the branch just to keep you in its line of sight. And third, it updates its mental threat model. If you move calmly, it registers that. Make no mistake, you are constantly being monitored.
This brings us to a specific scientific term you really should know: investigative orientation. Basically, this is the conscious, deliberate, physical act of a tiny bird, a creature the size of your fist, turning its head sideways so it can look directly at your face with one single eye. Think about that for a second. In an animal that is constantly hunted and has to constantly scan the horizon for predators, pausing to dedicate that monocular focus specifically to you, that is a massive deal. It is a direct, incredibly emotional connection. When that chickadee stops and looks right into your face, it is intentionally checking in on you.
And they aren't just tracking one person at a time either. No way. Crows actually possess the sheer cognitive sophistication to simultaneously track the physical movements of up to 3 or 4 specific humans through complex urban environments. It's like a giant puzzle to them. They are calculating exactly where you are, where another person is, and predicting what you're both likely to do next based on your past behavior. It is an astonishing level of social monitoring happening right above our heads. Section 3. The Bird Information Network. Here's where it gets even crazier. Your reputation? It doesn't just stay with one single bird. It is socially transmitted across a whole network of different species sharing the physical space of your yard. Chickadees basically act as the neighborhood lookouts, embedding highly specific threat data directly into their calls. If a chickadee sees you walk out of your house and doesn't sound an alarm, if it remains totally calm, that silence acts as a collective endorsement. The nuthatches listen in, the titmice are eavesdropping, the vireos adjust their physical behavior. That single calm response from a chickadee has literally told every other bird in the yard that you are safe, allowing the entire flock's physical tension to just melt away. Section 4. Changed Voices and Gifts. Because they don't just watch you. Birds actively change how they communicate and physically interact with your environment based on how they feel about you. I want you to step outside tomorrow morning and really use your ears. Listen to the acoustic landscape. If a bird views a human as a threat, you'll hear these sharp, urgent alarm chips, just pure panic. But if they trust you, you're going to hear a distinct emotional shift. The yard will fill with soft conversational contact calls. It is literally the sound of calm flock cohesion. When your body enters the yard and you hear those relaxed chirps, that sonic landscape is their verdict on your character.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is this relationship also features a stunning physical reciprocity. When researchers observed crows in suburban areas, they noticed something completely unpredicted. Crows were leaving deliberate objects, small stones, shiny materials, pieces of bark, even buttons, at the exact physical locations where a trusted human would stand to feed them. This isn't just random dropping of stuff. A bird is responding to receiving something by deliberately physically returning a gift exactly where you stand.
Section 5. A connection in grief. Let's actually slow our pacing down here for a second, because beyond the hard data, countless people have shared a very specific, deeply intense experience. Imagine standing completely alone in a quiet, empty house after losing someone you deeply love. You look out the window, and a bird, very often a cardinal, physically appears. The intimacy of that moment is entirely different. It stays longer. It locks eyes with you. In that shared, silent, physical space, you feel an intense emotion, a profound sense that something deliberate is being communicated right directly to you. Now, to be perfectly impartial here, science hasn't mapped the specific energies of these encounters yet. Honestly, science simply hasn't finished asking all the questions about it. But what we absolutely do know is that the red cardinal, with its vivid, physical burst of color on a dark day, has organically become a symbol of vitality persisting beyond death. The actual physical arrival of this specific bird has brought immense comfort and a profound emotional connection to millions of people navigating the heavy, heavy weight of grief. It is a deeply real, profoundly human experience. So, as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with this lingering thought. The birds in your yard possess an awareness, a memory, and a capacity for connection that is simply staggering. The next time a bird turns its head to look at you, let yourself really feel the weight of that. Has a bird ever visited you in a way that felt like more than just a coincidence? I strongly encourage you to reflect on the deep, emotional, and physical bonds that are quietly waiting for you, literally just outside